This is Gray Man Media content. Across the world, tales of draconic creatures appear in virtually all cultures. Huge serpents were described at least as early as the age of the ancient Greeks and Sumerians, but go back all the way to 4500 BC in Mongolia. From benevolent gods to hell on earth, we set out to find the myths and the legends of these beasts. Today, Wolf takes a bite out of dragons.
I climbed into the hills.
I'm romantic. I would like Bigfoot to exist.
One type is about 3 feet tall, very dark, not humanoid at all, yet lizard-looking.
The creatures that I have seen mostly have been the greys.
To the search for truth. Little grey men from outer space who actually abduct humans.
Welcome back to another episode of Wolf Takes a Bite podcast. I'm your host, John Wolf, the Lord John Wolf, with my co-host, the Lord Devin Gray.
It's me, bitches.
Insert picture of our lordships here. Something like that. Today, grab your pitchforks and your swords as we go Excalibur exploring to a whole new world where we talk about dragons.
Rawr.
Fire. There's a lot of different dragons. We're going to be getting into that today, whether they're real or not. Or were they real? Are they still real? Are they here now? Probably. Do you have a dragon in your pocket, Devin?
They walk among us.
They walk among us. Dragons are one of us. Here we go again. So, basically, dragons. Real or not real?
They walk among us.
That is the question.
It's like lizard people. Reptilians.
Duh.
They walk among us.
I mean, yeah, they do. So, I'm John. That is Devin. And dragons walk among us.
They walk among us.
Good episode. We'll see you on the next one. So, really. Dragons have had a very tepid history. In fact, their origins go back as far as the early 15th century.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
They walked among us then.
Maybe even sooner than that.
They walked among us now.
One of the earliest creatures to appear in the tales and legends of ancient China, the dragon is most often depicted as a giant beast which dwells in either water sources or clouds, because clouds are comfy. The Chinese dragon is extraordinarily powerful, and when it flies, it's usually accompanied by lightning and thunder. I'm turning into dragon. Jesus fucking Christ. Excuse me. Part of my Draconis in there. On what reality the dragon was first invented is not known. Although some historians suggest a link with rainbows and serpent of the sky, which seems to be seen after rain showers and indoor waterfalls, aka a rainbow.
Yeah, bro.
Carved jade dragons have been excavated, which can be dated back to 4500 and 3000 BCE.
It's wild.
That's before Christmas and Easter.
It is, yeah.
Far before any written records could be captured and or have appeared. Despite the dragon's fearsome aspect, it was not usually seen as a bad-intentioned monster that inhabits the myths of the cultures around the world, where it is typically slain by a brave hero figure, neither one of us. Indeed, in China, the dragon was, and is regarded still, as being just a benevolent creature.
They walk among us.
And we're back to our old ways. It is for this reason they became associated with rulership, and especially the emperors of China who, in their capacity as holders and of the mandate of heaven, God's representative on earth, dragons and emperors.
Yeah, bro.
They must always rule in just a impartial manner for the good of all their subjects. Now, the populace, in general, considered the dragon as a lucky symbol and a bringer of wealth in the Asian culture. Further, ancient farmers thought dragons brought much-needed rains and water to aid their crops. Dragons also thought responsible for strong winds, hailstorms, thunder, lightning, and tornadoes. Oh my. The latter is still known today as a dragon's whirlwind. I've never heard that terminology before.
It's, dude.
It's pretty interesting.
Dude. They love their dragons.
Yeah.
They're real into dragons over there. Freaking awesome, man.
Pretty much their entire civilization is built around this belief.
Bro.
So they gotta be real, right?
They walk among us.
But dragons don't just come from Asia.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They come from all over.
This is true. In fact, we've all seen The Lion King, but what they forgot to mention is that there's also African dragons.
There is.
There is African dragons. The most notable dragon comes from Egyptian mythology. Apep is the enemy of Ra, by the way, the sun god. When the sun sets in this evening, it must travel under the earth throughout the night. And this underworld is home to a vast dark sea where Apep awaits to leap out and swallow the sun. Every night, Ra must evade and vanquish Apep for the sun to rise the next morning. Apep was seen as a giant snake serpent-like creature, leading to such titles as Serpent of the Nile and Evil Lizard. Some elaborations even said that he stretched 16 yards in length and had a head made of flint. Other descriptions say that he was a massive golden snake, large enough to swallow the sun itself. I was gonna say 16 yards. If I'm not mistaken, math. You carry that there and you do this here and then... The sun's bigger than 16 yards.
Oh, bro. By a lot.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, by a few yards at least.
At least 17 yards or more. Although, it being a serpent, I did literally just look at a video.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, you did.
Of a snake eating a deer whole. That was interesting.
A big deer.
A little bit of a big snake.
It was a big snake. And that snake was not 16 yards. It was a big snake, but it wasn't that big.
Wasn't even 16 yards.
Bro.
They ate a deer, so
maybe a 16-yard snake could do it.
This could be plausible. When the
Well,
god...
hold on. It wasn't a 16-yard snake. It was a 16-yard dragon. That's the part we're missing. It's a dragon.
Serpent.
Serpent dragon. Yeah. There's dragons in Africa.
There are dragons in Africa. So when the gods Set, Isis, and Ra decided that they should be given power to rule over Egypt, Apep refused to give them anything. Then the three gods rebelled against Apep and were able to defeat him and throw him to the underworld. Apep was furious and vowed to take his revenge on them. He made his way through the underworld to a place near the horizon, where he knew Ra must travel on his solar barge to put the sun into the sky. The sun could fit on a barge.
Yeah, bro.
I love Egyptian mythology.
Dude, it is really fascinating.
It's actually beautiful.
I haven't looked into like Egyptian mythology since I was like in middle school, and it like relit a fire in me. I was like, oh yeah, this stuff's really freaking cool. God damn it. Keep going.
I dig it. I've actually kind of been a Ra worshiper.
Is that right?
For a while now, yeah. It's one of the many pantheons that I actually follow. West African voodoo traditions include worship of rainbow serpents. The serpent has many roles in many different versions of voodooism.
There's no N in that?
I just said that. Voodooism, it's an un. Vood.
I think it's voodoo.
Voodooism.
Voodoo.
Voodooism.
Yeah. I think that's how it's pronounced. I Googled it at one point.
Clickety clack.
Clickety clack. Yeah, just say that. Just
For example, she carried the creator spirit Maulisa in her mouth. Maulisa populated the land with life, while the serpent carved out valleys in the landscapes with her serpentine movements. I'm a snake. Forming mountains and hills with her dung. Image. Some religions even have the rainbow serpent holding the sky for all eternity. Interesting. So what I'm hearing...
It's kind of like Atlas holding the world on its shoulders.
Wasn't that on the back of a turtle?
There's also been that depicted as well. It's just interesting how so many cultures have these shared beliefs. It makes you wonder, like, if everybody was saying these same things, like, this is weird.
I mean, Americans still believe that we've been to the moon and in space, when that's obviously not the case.
Oh, great.
Because you can see in NASA videos the air bubbles coming out of the astronaut suits. I mean, come on. We all know.
Oh, yeah.
We all know that's filmed in a fucking swimming pool.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
You didn't know that? Oh, yeah, that tether to the spaceship. It's just sucking the air back out and going in. I mean, that's all it is, so you can hide the bubbles. But every once in a while, there's a little bubble escape. I mean, they say it's flecks of debris in space, but fuck yeah. Come on. You think we're really up there spinning around at 50,000 miles an hour, and they're just like, oh, I'm going to attach this radar to so I can get cable on the spaceship.
Did you know that China has their own space station?
Yeah, it's fake too.
I thought that, well, regardless of that, I thought the International Space Station was the only one. Turns out not at all.
So theoretically, the International Space Station is the main space station, but apparently if we actually are in space, every country has their own space station, including Russia, by the way.
I don't think so. The International Space Station is shared by Russian cosmonauts and astronauts.
Can you see up there?
Oh, no.
No.
Can you?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know.
So we have the same proof.
So we have no idea.
We have the equal amounts of proof.
We have no idea, Devin.
Excellent.
Space is fake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dragons.
Back to Hollow Earth. Speaking of Americans, dragons in America.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the one you probably recognize the most, honestly. The horned serpent was one of the most common form of the Native American dragons, recurring figure among many indigenous tribes of the southeast woodlands and other tribal groups. Among the Cherokee people, a horned serpent is called a Utica. Probably said that wrong. Anthropologist James Mooney definitely said that right. Describes the creature as, and I quote, "Those who know say that the Utica is a great snake, as large around as a tree trunk, with horns on its head, and a bright blazing crest like a diamond on its forehead, the scales glowing like sparks of fire." Long pause. "It has rings or spots of color along its whole length, and cannot be wounded except by shooting it in the 7th spot from the head, because under the spot is its heart and its life."
Yeah, he probably said it just like you did, too.
"The blazing diamond is transparent." I'm so glad we're on camera now so I can do air quotes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did them before.
Yeah.
Just no one ever knew.
No. We forgot that a lot. "And he who can win it may become the greatest wonder worker of the tribe." Okay, dragon.
So I don't think that's the one that most people are familiar with.
"But it is worth a man's life to attempt it, for whoever is seen by the Utica is also dazed by the bright light, and he runs towards the snake instead of trying to escape. As if this were not enough, the breath of Utica is so toxic that no living creature can survive should they inhale the tiniest bit of the foul air expelled by the Utica." I'm saying that all the way wrong.
Yeah, I was
getting worse every time.
Yeah, you pronounced it differently every time.
Even to see the Unitikanaia. Asleep.
You're not even true.
Asleep means death. Not to the hunter himself, but also to his family.
That's wild. Mm-hmm. That's freaking crazy. Yeah.
Also in Mesoamerica, not Mesopotamia, history, many different anthropolitical groups worshipped a feathered serpent deity. Among the Aztecs, whose beliefs are the best documented, I'm just kidding, I'm not going to do that, in historical sources, the Quetzalcoatl, Kumquat.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
The Kumquat was related to the gods of the wind.
It's Quetzalcoatl if you guys want to look into it yourself.
Good luck spelling it.
It's a nightmare.
The Quetzalcoatl was related to the gods of the wind, the planet Venus of dawn,
You want to spell it for him real quick?
of merchants and of arts, crafts, and knowledge. He was the patron god of the Aztec priesthood, of learning and knowledge. Quetzalcoatl.
Hey!
I remember that guy.
You named it!
Yeah, I do remember that guy now. Now that I'm reading it now and I'm hearing it, I'm like, oh yeah, I did something about that. Quetzalcoatl was one of the several most important gods in Aztec pantheon. In Brazil, a fiery serpent was described as... Its great fiery eyes leave it almost blind by day, but by night it can see everything. According to legend, serpents survived the Great Flood. You know, Moses's.
Yeah.
And in Chile, there were serpent gods of water, earth, and fertility. I want to meet that fertility dragon.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's in my pants.
He said it, not me. Well, that was a train wreck.
No, I thought it was great.
Yeah, fun. Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting that, you know, because most people, when you think of dragons, you usually think of like, you know, classic Eastern European or maybe even Western European, if you've kind of looked into it a little bit more, dragons. And of course, most people are aware of like the Asian type dragons. But I think overall, that's what people think of. And it's just interesting to find instances of dragons literally all over the world. Brazil, Mesoamerica, North America in the Native American tribes. We see them in Africa. We see them in Asia. It's just
you actually see them in in Nordic lore. You see them actually pretty much every culture.
Whoa, he's teasing.
A little bit. I just know that because I saw How to Train a Dragon.
Yeah, that's in there. Although
it's the entire fucking movie.
Yeah,
it's just in there. You know, they throw it in there.
It's a throwaway line that no one really pays attention to.
And How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah. Also, that whole movie, they never fucking tell you.
They don't?
No.
I think I was half asleep for that movie.
What's his name? Hiccup? He just fucking touches the nose of the dragon.
That's
It's
the
all
one
his,
with the big
bro.
smile, right? That one?
He's the one with one leg.
I don't remember this movie at all.
How to Train Your Dragon, DreamWorks Pictures.
Yeah, I know DreamWorks.
Astrid.
Astro?
No, the Night Fury.
Yeah. He's got crazy eyes.
How do you not know this movie?
I don't know, man. I need to rewatch it. Oh my god! But it is wild though that it's everywhere. Makes you wonder.
That's your only thoughts?
Well, no, it just makes you wonder, like, if everyone everywhere was seeing them, how were they real?
Where did they go?
They walk among us.
Fifth dimensional beings.
Possibly.
Very. Now we get into the more traditional European depiction of dragons. Here we're gonna go rapid fire.
There's a lot.
As we stoke the flames. Rapid fire, cultural dragons. We're gonna go kind of quick, so hang on tight. In Norse mythology, Jugamundur
You want to?
was the son of Loki and the brother of Wolf Fenrir. Yeah, I think I know that word, did you? The wolf Fenrir. People called him Midgard's serpent, whose body encircled the whole of Midgard, and his tail in his mouth, actually the appearance of Juggermundur. Now, Nidhogg, who entangled himself with the roots of the Tree of Life, deep down there, he gnawed the roots and ate the corpses. The eyes of Nidhogg dragon sparkled in the darkness, splaying its jaws. During the Ragnarok disaster, y'all remember that, Nidhogg joined the giant army to dethrone the Asgard dwellers. Nidhogg was one of the few Ragnarok survivors who witnessed the new period of the cosmos. Now Fenrir, on the Fen Otherland, had nothing to do with Ragnarok. In Norse mythology, Fenrir, not Fenrir, Fanfar, was the son of the rich dwarf king. From the dwelling of Fenrir, you think as somebody who actually worships Norse gods, I would be better at this, but I'm not.
It's tricky, man.
It's very tricky. I also have never had to do it on camera before, so it's usually in my head. The description that one. Fenrir did not take the dragon form, but when he was under the curse, he killed his father, hoarding his wealth, and fled into the forest. There, he slowly changed into the form of a dragon to guard his stolen treasure. Now a little bit closer to home, ancient Greek and Roman. Now I said this was going to be rapid fire, but it's not.
Well,
the story of a hero slaying a giant serpent occurs in nearly every Indo-European mythology.
true.
In most stories, the hero is some kind of thunder god. Now you have to insert Chakal. No, Chakal. Kachoo! Yeah, that. Cars.
What?
Cars. Lightning McQueen. Kachow.
What?
Lightning McQueen.
What is that? Is that a dragon?
Do you watch fucking kids movies at all? Father of two?
Clive Owen, right?
Fucking swear to God. Owen Wilson! Kerchiga! There you go.
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
That was a waste of time.
No, it wasn't.
In nearly every iteration of the story, the serpent is either multi-headed or multiple in some other way. Furthermore, in nearly every story, the serpent is always somehow associated with water. The child of Gaia, the Earth Mother, Typhoon, not only wreaked havoc, he also was the father to many different fearsome creatures. Some sources do describe him as being dragon-like, however, with hundreds of fearsome serpentine heads. Much like Ladon, who was most known for his winding body around a tree in the garden of Hesperides. That's what it is.
That actually sounds more right.
Hesperides. It helps when you read the word. His main role was to guard the golden apples that were so prized in his garden. He was considered to be a true dragon, or Drakon. Drakon, you bring me...
It was just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come to me on the day of my Drakon's wedding. The constellation called Draco is also associated with Ladon. Although the Hydra, we all know about Hydra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys taking out
Infinity
Captain
War.
America. Yeah, see? Yeah.
Although Hydra isn't often referred to as a dragon, it certainly is considered one. This fearsome creature is often depicted as having serpent-like features with multiple heads, sometimes up to 100 of them or more.
It's a lot of heads.
It's a lot of head. Depending on the source, the Hydra's main function was to guard the entrances to Hades. Now, obviously, there is so much more, but for this episode, we're going to move on to a more popular depiction of dragons in the Western world, which seems to be from the Middle Ages to the Renaissance, which confuses me because those periods of dragons were most often depicted in the United Kingdom.
Well, and there's
Because we didn't come to the Western world until like
there's a
here.
There's a pretty good like thought process as to where dragons came from in that region at that time period.
Due to the dragon's reputation for swallowing villagers whole and possibly breathing fire and felling ancient world trees. What's the difference between ancient world trees and a tree today?
I have no idea, bro.
They were older.
Yeah, they're ancient.
Yeah. They also talked. and generally serving chaos and embodying evil. Medieval folks were perhaps unsurprisingly keener on writing books titled How to Kill a Dragon than How to Train Your Dragon.
Ha!
Not my joke.
Ha!
In short, the dragon became typecast as the villain to one of the mightiest opponents that mankind could ever conceivably conquer.
Mm-hmm.
Or confer. Most dragons were nameless. Footnotes in the ballads that were sung of brave men's triumphs. In the 14th century, tale of Sir Eglamour. Yeah, Eglamour. The dragon is the ultimate and most challenging test. Sir Torrent ups this quota as Torrent gets to kill 2 dragons.
Whoa.
Then you've got the dragons in St. George and the dragon of Tristan and Isolde, and who met, actually, identically grisly fates, by the way. Even the celebrated Knights of the Round Table get in on this action. Lancelot does an epic battle with a massive fire-breathing dragon in a tomb. He was the first Dungeons and Dragon master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Each tale illuminated a certain pattern. The hero wins and the horse maybe dies. The dragon definitely dies. Fucking poor horse. This would be the template for a long time. And since one can't kill this many a dragon without creating a few tropes, we see the fortification of several related motifs that soon would take flight in the public imagination. The maiden in need of rescue. The chivalric quest and climatic dragon fight and the castle. But, plot twist, does the Middle Ages, basically a continual continent-wide massacre of dragons in Western literature. This would curiously give us 2 of the greatest dragons of all time. Today, Fanvir and the unnamed dragon of Beowulf are central to this draconic lore. I don't know why we want to unname that dragon from Beowulf, because we all know it was that dragon from that movie with that kid.
Unnamed dragon.
No, Devin. What was the one where he found the egg? It's a book.
I don't know.
I'm blanking on it now. Fuck me running. God damn it. What's the name of the book? Edgar?
Allan Poe?
No. Igor?
Frankenstein?
Motherfucker.
I'm not.
Help me out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Aragon. That's it.
Oh, Aragon. Yeah. Okay, I actually didn't know that. Is that one of the that's not the one from Beowulf?
How do we know?
I mean, I guess we don't.
That dragon didn't die in that movie. Or book. These 2 dragons would cast long shadows for centuries. Both set the benchmark for a dragon's ferocity, might, and potential for destruction. Both perpetrated the tropes most closely entwined with the dragon, including the fire and the greed for gold. And both forged the construct of a dragon slayer, for both who were slain by mortals. Yet, this wasn't even the hardest trial at hand. In this age, and all coming ages, the dragon still faced an even greater enemy, its own biblical ghost. To the people of the Middle Ages, it was Satan, plain and simple, and deserved to be killed every time. I think they just like the taste.
The dragon meat's pretty good.
Also, when dragons die, magic dies, so fuck you for ruining it for the rest of us. When Christianity spread across the world, dragons took... I almost thought it said dragons have a TikTok. Dragons...
They probably do. I bet there's one.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. Let's start it.
Dragons took a decidedly sinister interpretation. They came to represent Satan.
Mm-hmm.
We are here. We are dragons. Satan rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Protest. In medieval times, not high evil. In medieval times, most people who heard anything about dragons knew them from the Bible, and it's likely that most Christians at the time believed in the literal existence of dragons. After all, Leviathan, a massive monster described in detail of the book of Job, sounds like a dragon.
It's a big old dragon.
Devin, all this is really a long-winded, poorly pronunciated way of asking ourselves, are dragons real?
They walk among us.
Why?
So if you just look at all of the evidence across, there's instances of dragons or draconic figures all around the world. I just think that it's hard to say, oh yeah, across all of the world, they're all just making up this thing. So I think that there could have possibly been dragons, maybe a long time ago. But I believe there's also some theories as to why that there may have been these myths and legends.
You keep making this reference to They Walk Among Us. Are you trying to tell me, Devin,
I just think it's funny.
that you now finally understand and believe that lizard men are real?
No, not at all. In fact, I don't believe in dragons.
That's the correct answer. You don't want to be caught by a lizard man.
I don't.
So, medieval theology aside, few people today believe in the literal existence of dragons in the way that they may believe in the existence of Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. The dragon, or at least the dragon version most familiar to Westerners.
Oh, wow. Did you just realize you were fucking wrong?
No, Westerners, us, duh.
Hello!
Is simply too big and too fantastic to take seriously or literally. I disagree. In modern age of satellite imagery and smartphone photos and videos, it's simply implausible that any giant winged fire breathers inhabit the Earth's lands or skies unseen. Duh, because they're underneath in Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
However, only a few centuries ago, rumors of dragons seem to have been confirmed by eyewitness accounts from sailors returning from Indonesia who reported encountering dragons. See, it's just the island. We have to find the right island.
They're hanging out on islands in the Pacific Ocean, where all the volcanoes are.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, obviously.
We just outlined the history of dragons as they appear in cultures around the world. They are worshipped and feared wherever there are people. You have to ask yourself, is this legend something of a collective imagination, or did the beast really exist in the past? Or maybe even the present?
Whoa.
Are the dragons simply hiding in Chinese rivers? Perhaps waiting for Ragnarok or guarding some treasure on a remote cave? Could they exist in Hollow Earth? Or even be demons hiding in hell? Simply lying in wait for a time when dragons can rule again. If there's any dragons out there and search for help, you can dial our number at 555 Dragons Are Real and reach out to us.
And if you're a dragon watching this, make sure you comment below.
Hit the like, share, and fire and subscribe button.
Yeah.
Your comments, concerns, questions?
So, I thought I put it in there.
Uh-huh.
But there's a lot of evidence that suggests that that dragons kind of were like a symbolic meaning for the Black Plague also.
But how does that describe it in all other cultures?
That's the problem that I keep running into, because when I was doing the research for this. How'd you like the writing on it, by the way?
Not so shabby.
I thought it was pretty good. I like the story I told.
I'd like to find the book you read.
It wasn't a book. I did it all online.
The Wikipedia page.
Yeah, there was some stuff on Wikipedia, for sure. I did not know much about most of these. I didn't know dragons could be found everywhere. But
At a store near you.
yeah. The problem I kept running into, because as I so often like to do, I like to disprove whatever we're talking about. And I don't believe in dragons, but goddamn, that's compelling evidence when you can find them. People talking about it in ancient Africa, ancient America, ancient China, ancient Europe. It's everywhere. I didn't find anything on Australia, but I probably didn't look that hard. Human imagination of monster snakes, which sure, but they don't really have like that large of snakes in every single part of the world, right? I mean, there's snakes everywhere, but
you know, snakes kill more people a year than any other creature.
is that a fact?
Yeah.
That's freaking wild. I thought it was hippos.
No.
I think hippos are up there, bro.
And this is before even before the thing of antivenom, because I just heard this today, actually. But snakes kill like 150,000 people a year or some bullshit.
Wow, that's
it's
a lot.
Fucking crazy.
Another theory was they were ancient winged beasts that lived with the dinosaurs. Sure, but but I think that in order humans didn't live around the time the dinosaurs did, so in that theory they would have had to continue on past the dinosaurs, which I don't really think that doesn't jive right with me.
The dinosaurs aren't real either, though.
Yeah, obviously. And then the other one was perhaps they were rare creatures that existed in early human history, but they were hunted to extinction.
Oh, that's very plausible. We do that all the time.
Yeah, all
also,
the time.
if you believe dinosaurs are real, get off my channel.
Please stay. And then the last one that I had was literal spawns of hell.
Yeah.
Or real gods.
Yeah. Maybe they're just aliens.
They also could be aliens.
Yeah, I don't know. Very possible. So, hey, if you enjoyed listening to us talk about winged lizard people, who are definitely real, and dinosaurs are not, you can check out the rest of this episode. You can listen to the rest of this episode wherever podcasts can be found. And I mean everywhere. Literally just type in Wolf Takes a Bite Pod anywhere on Google and you will find us, because we are that good now.
Yeah. So go listen to the rest of this episode. John's got a bunch of stuff about dragons that we're about to talk about. So if you want to hear that, you got to go listen to the rest of the episode.
I hope I do. Bye.
See you next week. Do you believe